Hello there! Thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, using both hands in this video. Look at this, oh my goodness. The fabulous Dorsey Brothers, okay? I mean, you know, boy, both together and apart. Icons of the big band swing era, absolutely. You know, they helped define the very sound of the swing era and helped create the soundtrack for World War II. Now, they recorded and performed together from the 1920s to 1935, and then they, you know, as brothers will, went their separate ways over musical differences, but then they reunited again in the early 1950s. But for a whole generation, call it 17 years, that's about a generation, it was Tommy Dorsey, his trombone and orchestra, and Jimmy Dorsey, his saxophone and clarinet and orchestra. So Tommy's regarded as a little bit bigger, you know, a little bit more of a household name, I guess measuring just chart-wise, which certainly isn't fair, but when it comes to #1 records in the swing era, Tommy had 17 and Jimmy had a dozen. But let's do Tommy first here, because the years earlier, 1936, and he got this nice blue and white design. This is a tour blank window card, 14 by 22 inch cardboard. And look at that interesting, you know, line sketch of a swinging trombonist behind everything on the dark background. I think that's the highlight of this poster. That looks really fun. And then, of course, you have the artistic rendition of Tommy's face as opposed to a photograph, which would come later. In fact, I've video blogged already a 1941 Tommy Dorsey concert poster with Frank Sinatra as his hidden singer, and that had a photograph of his face. But here you have, which was typical in the 30s, an artistic rendering, and I think it looks really fun. Very much a look of the era, if you will, with his wire-rimmed glasses and his slick back hair and everything. Now, condition-wise, I usually don't bring it up, but notice this poster is pretty dirty. It looks like it's been stepped on a lot and stuff. And of course, collectors are always faced with, do I restore it, do I clean it, or do I not? I remember when I collected coins in the 60s, the mantra was, you know, do you clean up your coins? And the saying was, just let the next person do it, because that way all options stay open. And you know, you want your old posters to look old, but this one does have a lot of grime on it. But and up the upper left there, it's got, I'm going to come in a little closer, that white circle has a very curious MCA logo. Music Corporation of America is in and then in very tiny print, it does say New York, Chicago, LA, Cleveland, and Dallas. And then look at that, it says like presents in just silly tiny print. I mean, it's obviously just taken, the printer took it from something else and didn't fit it for the poster, but it doesn't make any difference. People will still buy tickets and go if they wanted to. And very familiar big band venue there, the Sunnybrook Ballroom in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. And as you can see, it's Saturday evening, November 14th, from dancing from 8:30 to question mark, and admission $1, tax included. Wow, $1 to see a big band. Woof, man, in the 30s, how great. Great year for Tommy, too. 1936, he had 3 #1s. Awesome, all from movies, including from the Marx Brothers' A Night at the Opera, the #1 record Alone, which topped the charts for a month and a half. And there's no printer's credit or union bug at the bottom of this poster. Okay, so you've already seen the Jimmy, but here he is all by himself, soloing, if you will. By a year and a half, Jimmy was Tommy's older brother. And this is from the same venue. Go to the top there, exactly. Sunnybrook Ballroom in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, with the same sort of logo up there, not just regular print. A big S and a big K is very catchy. And you've got Saturday, February 26th, with the year being 1938, 2 years later. Dancing 8:30 to question mark, once again. And admission is now $1 plus tax instead of $1 including tax. What a difference 2 years makes. And then the tour blank portion that stayed constant. Look at that, that nice orange design. In person, Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra. And it's got this just bright orange compelling design that I really like. And once again, being the 30s, there's an artistic rendition of Jimmy's face instead of a photograph. Now, it's by no means clear-cut. It's not like all 30s had drawings and all 40s had pictures. There was plenty of crossover as well. It just sort of, you know, it's the photographic process being refined and perfected and everything, and so it was a slow, gradual thing in the order that it happened. And 38 was a good year for Jimmy, for heaven's sake. He had 9 records on the charts this year, including the #1 Change Partners. Interestingly, Jimmy Dorsey's orchestra had most of the original, or was comprised of many more original members from the Dorsey Brothers Orchestra from the 20s into about 1935, because it was Tommy who walked away from the Dorsey Brothers Orchestra and most of the guys stayed with Jimmy. So that certainly gives Jimmy and this poster some fun clout. That was 3 years ago, by the way, obviously 35 to 38. And there's no Union Bug or printer's credit down at the bottom of Jimmy's poster. However, what you do have is a very familiar slug line for big band collectors: Rockwell O'Keefe Incorporated, Rockefeller Center, Radio City, New York, and Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, California. The fabulous Dorsey Brothers in the 1930s. How can swing music, big band concert posters get any better? I don't know. So, well, as long as I mentioned they were reunited in the early 1950s, yep, here's a concert poster to back it up. Summertime of 1953 in Nebraska. And look at that big black banner there, those fabulous Dorseys. In person, and notice the wording, it's very significant. You got the sentimental gentleman, Tommy Dorsey, his trombone and his orchestra, featuring Jimmy Dorsey, the world's greatest saxophonist. So Jimmy's down a notch in the pecking order from his younger brother at this point. You know, only 3 months after this, boy, they'd make their first television appearance, and they'd go on to host their own TV show in the 50s called Stage Show. And they were the very first ones on national television to give a young singer from Memphis, Elvis Presley, his first national TV exposure, even before Ed Sullivan. So, I hope you enjoyed seeing all the Dorsey posters today. Thanks a lot for dropping by. Have a good day, and we'll see you around for something soon. Take care. Bye-bye.